ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So we are going to the straight topic. As we have been discussing all the bandhas, now three more bandhas are there. So one is Uddiyana bandha, second one will be Vajroli, third one will be called Sakti Chalana. So intelligently we will be skipping Vajroli. Vajroli we are not taking at all. So we are skipping it. So Uddiyana bandha and Sakti Chalana, that two will be taking. So let us read Uddiyana bandha, verse number 70. नाभयोर ऊर्ध्वमध्याश्चापि तानं पश्चिम आचरेत् उद्यान बन्धये स्यात् सर्वदुःखौघनाशनः उदरे पश्चिमं तानं नाभेरुर्ध्वं तु कारयेत् उद्यानक्षोत्रबन्धोऽयं मृत्युमातङ्गकेसरी. So this Uddiyana bandha exactly is like the example is being given. The death is called elephant and the lion becomes this Uddiyana bandha, what we have seen earlier. So he says very nicely, how is it possible is being done? He says Nabhe urdhavagam adhaschapi tanam paschimam acharet. So what is to be done is very simple. You don't have to see, you don't have to really break your head. So take the navel as the referring point. So below and above the navel region, you need to take it back. So as back as possible. And if you are able to take it back as much as possible, that becomes Uddiyana bandha. That's all. And this is called destroyer of, and because of that he says very beautifully, Uddiyana bandha esasya sarva dukhoganashana. So it destroys all sort of dukha, difficulties, auga, sorrows. Now let us look at auga means papa, it should be. Auga is papa. So means different type of let us say omissions and commissions. Then says udare paschimam tanam nabhe urdham tu karayit udyana khyatro bandhoyam mrityu matanga kesari. So what happens is when you do this thing, now you have to, this is what little bit difference will be there. So once you take it back, first you take it back both, then what you need to do is you need to bring that down portion little up. Automatically it has to come, little up it will come. Or else what will happen is you will not be able to hold for long time. So that's what he says beautifully, that udare paschimam tanam. So whatever you have taken back, so that paschima tanam nave urdham tu karayat, little bit you have to bring up. So from the back, first you take it back, from back it has to come up, not like straight time make two layers and put it back. It will not. Everything you have to take it back, and from there you have to roll it and bring it. So this is called, and it is exactly work like Mrityu Matanga Kesari, the example. Let us look at the next verse. Because today I have decided to complete it to the same. Nityam yah kurute yogi chaturbaram dine dine tasya nabhestu suddhisya ena siddho bhaven marot. So the one who chaturbaram dine dine, 4 times every day, the one who practices. So what happens? Definitely good thing happens. Navi Suddhikarana takes place. The naval region gets purified, because naval region is the place for Jatragni, for Samana, for everything. So when that place gets purified, many things happens. So here he says, okay, Vayu Sat Siddho Bhavet Marut. Marut means Vayu. So here it says the wind gets purified, but in details a lot of benefit happens, which you can see Yoga Vidya book. Shanmasa Madhyasan sanyagi mrityum jayati nishchitam tasyodaragniर्ज्वलति rasavriddhim prajayate. Says beautifully, it should be yogi, not yagi, yogi, sun yogi. Says sharmasam abhyasat yogi. Whoever yogi practices for 6 months, definitely mrityum jayati. So wins over, conquers the death. Not only that, tasya udaragniर्ज्वलति. The digestive fire will be always active, will be alive. It will not go down, okay? So that manda agni will not happen. And not only that, rasavriddhi prajayate. So rasavriddhi means, very technically he uses the word. Rasavriddhi says, the fluid, the juice increases. Means it will not allow meda and mansa to happen. See what happens when jatragni is not there, digestive fire is not there. So whatever you eat, now that becomes rasa. Again from rasa, it will go to different levels. It will become flesh, it will bone marrow and all these things. So that's why it become fat, this, that. Whereas when jatragni is strong, whatever you eat, everything becomes rasa and rasa get digested. So technically it puts that rasam increases. Panenam sutaram siddhi vigrayasya prajayate roganam sankhayaschapi yogino bhavati dhruvam. Says beautifully. Of course, because of this, consequently what will happen? You will have vigraha siddhi, means that success over your body. So sarira siddhi. And also definitely whatever disease, roganam sankhayaschapi. So whatever rogas you have, whatever diseases you have, definitely that also will get destroyed in the process. Such beautiful lesson. Guru labdva parayatnane praya should be, not pra it should be. Because while typing today I was typing a lot. So I have made a mistake. Guru labdva prayatnena sadhayettu vichakshana nirjane sustire deshe bandham paramadurlabham. So Guru labdha prayatnena. So always he says beautifully that you have to practice in keeping with the teacher's instruction, not by the way you want. And of course he says beautifully, sadhayetu vichakshana, the one who is intelligent, the one who is smart. This is how has to practice. How? Nirjane sustire. Nirjane means free from all people. So where people are not there. Sustite means being very comfortable. Not hurry worry, nothing. So one has to make oneself comfortable. See, puts sustite deshe, the place free from all sort of problems. Bandham sadhet, this bandham to be practiced. And this is paramadurlabham. It's very rare to come across this. And next. So this is how this Vajrasana, Uddiyana Bandha is over. So let us look at the next. Because I have given one file because I was typing everything. Because that other one was really around more than 30 to 40 verses, okay? So already I was typing, I was working on that and I have done everything, but I have decided to skip it. So that's why I did not want to share with any one of you. So I took my time to divide it and send to you. However, let us look at the next. Atha Sakti Chalana Mudra. So in this last, because my target is to complete that chapter today. Adhara Kamale Shuptam. This is the Kundalini starts, okay? Chalayet Kundalin Drudham Apana Vayumaruhya Balada Krusya Buddhiman Shakti Chalana Mudeyam Sarva Shakti Pradayini. Says beautifully, Adhara Kamale Supta. So in Muladhara, so this is Supta, means sleeping. And what is that? Says Chalayat Kundali Drudham. So here when this Kundali is sleeping in the form of coil, is sleeping very nicely, that too in Muladhara. So what you need to do is, he says beautifully, if you want to make it, so you would need to use this Apana Vayu. So with the help of Apana Vayum Aruhya Balad Akrusya Buddhima. So when you pull Apana Vayu, that's why Mula Bandha and other things are very important. In fact, all this Mula Bandha, Yoni Mudra is very much useful for all these things. So keeping that, he has talked all these things. So he says, finally, when you try to really pull it up, then what will happen? He says, this is called as Shakti Chalana Mudra Iyam. Because you are trying to shake the Shakti. So because you are able to shake this Shakti, so this is called Shakti Charana Mudra. And he says, Sarva Shakti Pradayani. It gives all sort of strength. Let us look at the next verse. Shakti Chalanam evam hi pratyaham yah samacharet ayur buddhir bhavet tasya roganam cha vinashanam. Nothing much to talk. So he who practices this Shakti Chalanam and that to daily, definitely that person, what happens? Beautifully says, the ayur buddhi, the longevity increases. Not only longevity increases, roganam cha vinasanam, whatever disease you have, that also gets destroyed. Why and how? There is a lot of logic, so I don't want to get into too much, okay? Because we have seen enough of logic everywhere. So today we will go in a super speed so that we will complete it. Thank you. Then he says, Bihaya nidra bhujagi swayam urdhe bhavet khalo tasmat abhyasanam karyam yogina siddham icchata. So here, now this is the confusion starts from here, okay? It says, Vihaya nidra bhujagi. So bhujagi means snake. So now the kundalini becomes your snake, okay? Sleeping the snake, now you need to wake up. So when kundalini becomes jagrata, so that means your snake comes out and it will start playing on your head. It will come out through the mouth. God knows what other things will happen. So you should say, hey, look, I myself not able to handle. How do you think that I'll be able to handle another snake? Enough of my life, okay? However, he says, now what you say? Vihaya nidra bhujagi. So if you look at, you have to hear very nicely, says, Swayam urdham bhavet khalu. So when this kundalini, this energy is sleeping, not active, please understand why is bhujagi and other things. Because the energy always in the coil. That's why even if you see also this medical science, that whatever the logo they put it, what they put it, that is called Ida, Pingala and Sushumna. And also they put it in a snake format, goes round like this. From a distance you will think as though, the snake is standing. So here, what happens when the same thing, it is in the coil format. So when he says beautifully, very nicely, when it is sleeping, means dormant, don't try to disturb. Because when you are not ready, if you disturb, lot of issues happens. In fact, I have seen, this is, I always called, instead of kundali, I said, urdha vayu, sometimes I say urdha prana. So your prana gets elevated. Sometimes what happens, I have seen many cases, I don't want to get into in personal way, that some people have come and asked me that, my kundali is stuck in navel region. Somebody will say in this chakra, that chakra. I said, okay, what do you do? One day I got swung. I said, look, I'll take a knife and cut your all chakras so that the kundalini will go away somewhere. Who asked you to practice and why all these things? You cannot think of. The funny questions comes. One person seriously cut hold of my leg. That time I was wondering. In fact, it happened in Haryana. I remember Haryana. He cut hold of my leg. This is my problem and you are the right person. I could make out you are down. You have to release me from this thing. I was so suffocated. I said, Mamma mia. How to escape from that person? I really worked a lot to escape. But he did not allow me. So finally I had to make him to practice few things. I said, okay, now is it coming down? He said, yes. In fact, he was so restless. He said, please, if he cannot go up, at least bring it down because I cannot survive. It is so painful. I said, okay, at least I will help you to bring it down. I cannot help you to bring it up, but definitely I will help you to bring it down. So I had to tell him certain tricks and techniques. At least that fellow said, I am relieved. So always I say this is more connected to, I don't believe in this Kundalini personally, even though there are a lot of things, but we have to understand what people talk on Kundalini. Somehow I don't believe so far. Because whatever I have gone through, and especially the thesis that I went through by this, as I was telling you, from German, one of the university, and associated with the IIT in Chennai. So whatever thesis they made on Kundalini, and I challenged, from that time onwards, my faith towards Kundalini completely gone. So that's why my mind got closed from that day itself. Because they came up with the thesis and the hypothesis, whatever they wanted to experiment. I said, all this bullshit. But I can prove it. This has nothing to do with Kundalini raised. I can prove all your things, but I can assure you that my Kundalini is not raised. But all your thesis, I can break it. They said, impossible. I said, yes, but with one condition. I will prove it, but you cannot put my name anywhere. Because I openly say that my Kundalini is not raised. Let us go. In fact, they were very happy and we sat. Everything happened. Luckily, God's grace, I broke their record. So whatever they wrote, everything I passed through. Then after that, they were behind me. Look, now we are going to put a journal and your photo should be there, your name will be there, everything will be there, will be it. I said, this is what I made it be clear from the beginning. My Kundalini is not raised. Then only I will sit for the experiment. And please don't put anywhere. I am not interested. I came and sat just to challenge your hypothesis. Your experiment, whatever thesis or theory you have made. This is bullshit. In fact, I said it's a bullshit for me. And from that day onwards, to be very honest, whatever faith I had for Kundalini, everything went away. Okay, this is my truth. This is the reality. Maybe that is there. Many places comes. I always look at this is called Urdhva Pranam. So if your prana is elevated, fantastic. So make your prana elevated rather than imagining getting into too many things. Even though there are places Kundalini is being talked, not that it is not talked. Some of the text also talks. So when it talks about Kundalini, means the energy is in the Kundalini form, in the round format. So that all the chakras, whatever we see, all the petals, there is round. So there also the energy is there. So this is being taught, not the imagination part what people do and different religious people or religious practitioners highlight. Each one is crazy in the name of Kundalini, because very nicely I respect Swami Ananda Saraswati in this regard. Because those days he was one of the famous yogi in West and he was called Flying Swami and whatnot. In fact, one day he was asked, Swamiji, what would you think about this Kundalini? He said, Kundalini, those days he had used this word, Kundalini is a hook to attract people to come and practice yoga. I respect him for this statement. Because people basically are emotional. People want to hold on to some experiences. People want to show up, which cannot be verified. Like religious people, what do they do? You will go to heaven. Nobody can verify. So whole group follows that. So here also Kundalini, this will happen, that will happen. So unverifiable, and each one will add also their beauty. Yes, I saw this light, that light, this happened, that happened. In fact, now my Kundalini is in here. Already energy is going up, this, that. So each one will talk, adding their imaginations. Remember, all these things I say is possible, not that impossible. All are called Urdhva Prana. Your prana is elevated because after listening all the truth, you don't imagine all these things. If your prana is elevated, everything will be happening. You don't have to worry at all. So elevate your prana. Don't go after this Kundalini. Thank you. Then next, Yah karoti sada bhyasam sakti chalanam uttamam ena vigraha siddhisya hanimadi gunaprada guru padesa vidhina tasya mrittu bhayam krutaha. Says beautifully. Yah karoti sada bhyasam, the one who keeps practicing every day. And what is that? Sakti charanam uttamam. This is shaking this energy. Means you don't allow yourself to be a lazy person, to a lethargic person. I can interpret in this way. Sakti charanam uttamam. Through this process, you don't allow yourself to be a lazy person. You make sure, that energy is there, it's really able to do it. This is called, Urdhva Prana. Not, I have seen those Kundalini are raised, but like this. You understand? That is not a Kundalini raised. Kundalini raised means what? That, your raise, your presence, your way of talking, everything should talk. That is called Prana. That's why I am highlighting Urdhva Prana. Don't get into all these things, okay? Still, if you want to get into, please, choice is yours. That's why I am glossing over. Ena vigraha siddhisat. Because of that reason, what happens? Your body definitely will have success over body. That your body itself will talk whether you are a yogi or not. Before you open your mouth, your body will say that you are a yogi. That is called yoga. When you walk, when you talk, the moment from a distance people can make out, okay, this person is a yogi. That will happen. And of course it adds Animadi Guna Prada, all these Ashtasiddhis, Anima, Mahima, Garima, Laghima, Siddhi, Prakamya, Adi, will come automatically. Guru Padesha Vidhina, Tasya Mrityubhayam Kuta. So when the person is guided with the help of the teacher, for that person, how can there be fear of death? Means the person will not be afraid of anything in life. Suppose if my Kundalini is up, but I am afraid of many things. So what is the purpose of this Kundalini making up? And also you will be afraid of whether another Kundalini fellow is coming or not. Mine is more up, that fellow is lesser up. You understand? Fight will take place. Because if my snake is bigger, that fellow snake is smaller. Or that fellow snake is bigger, my snake is smaller. What will happen? And imagine, my snake is a cobra, but that fellow's thing is king cobra. Very painful thing, okay? And somebody will come, based on the body and other things, or maybe practice whatever, that fellow is anaconda. Now what to do? Anyway, so this is what my way of putting it, so that whenever you listen to all these things, you will smile and laugh, nothing else, okay? I am not here to criticize anybody. Muhurtadvaya Pariyantam Vidhina Sakti Chalanam Yah Karoti Prayatnena Tasya Siddhira Durataha Yukta Sanena Kartavyam Yogi Shakti Chalanam. Says beautifully. So now what you need to do is here, says that Muhurtadvaya Pariyantam. So Muhurtadvayam we can look at, for 2 seconds is not. Muhurtam is 48 minutes, 48 into 48. So I have translated wrongly. 48 into 48, okay? So 248 means 96. For 96 minutes. So the one who is able to do this Shakti Chalanam, that too in a proper process, Yah Karoti Prayatnena, with a great effort, Tasya Siddhi Adurata, means the Siddhi is not far away from him. Means already the person has got the Siddhi. And Yukta Sanena Kartavyam, you need to sit in a proper asana, proper posture. So preferably Padmasana. If not Padmasana, all other asanas, Siddhasana, we have discussed. These are the asanas are prescribed. So Yukta Sanena Kartavyaha, Yogi Bhi Shakti Charanam, by the Yogi, this Shakti Charanam process. So once this is done, then she beautifully says, with this last verse, Etat tu mudra dashakam, na bhutam na bhavishyati, Ekekabhyasane siddhi siddho bhavati nanyatha. So these are the 10 asanas. So you will never find in future, nor it was earlier. So this is what the best. And you need to practice each one separately. Ekeka abhyasana siddhi. Then once you have siddhi one, then after that some places you have to combine as per the teaching. And there is no other way around. That means this is the something to be really practiced, to be done. So few things to be done, and in fact, instead of getting into too details, whatever we have in Yoga Vidya method, that's more than enough. Because everything is being taken care in that. So if you can really practice this Yoga Vidya method 4 times in a day regularly, you will see the difference. And if you don't see the difference, you can talk to me. With this, the 4th chapter is completed. Next will be 5th chapter. 5th chapter is called Raja Yoga, which I have not seen because I had taken a promise for this text that I will not read beforehand. So whatever class I will take every day, that much I will read. So to be very honest, I have not seen, neither I want to see what is the text tomorrow, so that I am enjoying as the text comes. So this is the first time in my life I am doing something differently. I have never done this way. So I said, okay, this is a good way. But luckily, because I have done all these things, it becomes easier for me to talk. Or else it would have been a disaster. Full of controversies. What I have spoken yesterday, today will be different. But luckily, because practice was there, so that's why I am able to pull it very nicely, carefully. However, very nice of all of you. I have completed today this 4th chapter. So how good I am. Thank you, all of you.